Over the past week, we have seen harrowing images out of Ukraine as the war with Russia intensifies there.
Journalists are on the front lines documenting every step of this war. We've seen everything from people bravely defending their freedom to the destruction that war leaves behind. Joining us now is Pulitzer Prize-winning photojournalist Lynsey Addario. She's on assignment in Kyiv for the New York Times. Lynsey, tell us just about what you're seeing and also how these photos are really a reflection of some of the stories that people are sharing with you.
Well, I think the important thing to note is that things are getting very, very tense right now. I've been here about 2 weeks, and the difference between when I arrived 2 weeks ago to now is incredible. I mean, Kyiv was a fully functioning city, people out on the streets and cafes, shopping, and now it is a city under siege. Everything's closed. There are lines for food to get money. I think for me, it's really important to document the civilian toll of this war when residential buildings are hit or when women and children and families get forced into bunkers underground. Yesterday, I visited a shelter where it was beneath a hospital, so there were mothers with sick children. Women are putting their children on trains and sending them to a different part of the country because, they need to send their children to safety. So these are the really important issues, I believe, for the world to see, because it's not people fighting in a vacuum. War affects everybody.
Right. You make such a good point about the way war makes the unimaginable a reality. Like you said, just a very short time ago, it was a fully functioning city, and now the people there are facing so much destruction. What has struck you the most during your time in Ukraine? And what do you believe that people need to take away from this crisis, people who are obviously not there in Ukraine, witnessing it firsthand as you are?
I mean, it's been incredible for me to see the Ukrainian public just come together and offer themselves up. I mean, there are lines for people to volunteer to fight. I met this woman, Julia, who was a teacher, a young woman, and she had never picked up a gun until 2 days before I photographed her and ended up offering herself to fight Russians in Kyiv. That was incredible to me. She was crying as she was on her way to the base because she was so scared and she couldn't believe what was happening to her country. This is happening clear across the country. People are prepared to fight because they don't want to give up their freedom. They don't want to give up their voice that they've established in the last 8 years. And they really do not want to be controlled by Russia.
Lynsey, you've spent the last 2 decades really witnessing the world's most dangerous and crucial moments in history. Obviously, you talked early on about the importance of showing these images to the world. But where does your bravery come from?
I mean, I wish I knew. I don't feel brave. I feel like the people who live here are brave. I had to make, every day I have to make a decision. How long do I stay? I think this is an incredibly historical moment for us, for everyone in the world. I mean, I think that you cannot allow a country to just enter with impunity and invade a country. And I think that that's why for me, the coverage of war is so important, because we need to be there to bear witness. We need to hold leaders accountable for the decisions they make. And there is a lot of misinformation in war. And when a photographer is there, when a photojournalist is there to take pictures, you can't deny something has happened.
Lynsey Addario, we appreciate your time, and we pray that you are safe and that you calculate that risk as you need to. But thank you for bringing us the story through your images. Thank you.
Stay safe, Lynsey.
Thank you for having me.